Welcome to the DU Weekly Check-In. I am joined by head gymnastics coach Melissa Kutcher-Rinehart. Melissa, let's go right into it. This weekend, you guys came off of a very, very strong beam lineup. Talk about how the girls performed at Michigan State.
Well, I thought the athletes did a great job. It's certainly impressive when you can go into the last event. We had not had the meet we were hoping to have on the 3 events prior to balance beam, but it's so impressive to watch them go into that last event to finish with 2.99s to win the meet on balance beam in a pressure situation on the last event.
Senior Melody Kutcher-Rinehart, she hit a career high on beam that day. Talk about how she's improved over the season.
Well, it was really interesting with Melody because I had just said to my assistant coach, Linus, that her training on balance beam with her dismounts has looked the best I've ever seen it. And sure enough, she went and did her dismount at Michigan State, and that really solidified her score. That dismount was so strong. And what I'm really impressed and pleased about with balance beam is that we also did this at Utah State. We've done this now multiple competitions where we've ended these away competitions on balance beam and have not had to count a fall. I know we've done that several times where we either not have to count a fall or balance beam has been our strongest event of the meet and finishing it out under pressure, usually while those other teams are on floor exercise and the music's blaring. And so I'm really pleased to see their focus. But I would honestly have to say with balance beam, and this actually happened in training yesterday, they are so incredibly strong in their training, and I feel like that's what's paying off. I mean, that we can go through practice after practice where I can challenge them, I can come up with new assignments, they rise to the occasion, they do it with quality on balance beam. They just don't try to get through the numbers, and an example of that would be yesterday. We gave them a very challenging assignment on beam, and they could have just gone through the motions. And instead, when an element wasn't perfect, they were taking the initiative to repeat the element themselves without me asking them to go back and do it. And that's already with a very lengthy and challenging beam assignment. And honestly, the consistency in training on beam is so high that you rarely see misses in practice. And I think that's what's translating to the success in competitions on balance beam.
How can you see that reflecting this weekend at Georgia? I know they always bring out a big crowd, SEC Gymnastics. How do you think that training is going to reflect this weekend?
Well, obviously, I think University of Georgia is an incredibly strong program with great coaching. Obviously, my former assistant coach, Jay Hogue, is now there, so we're looking forward to seeing him. And I know their team is very, very strong. But for us, and I've really reinforced this the entire year with our team, it's really not about other teams, and it's really not about scores. They score differently all over the country, depending on where you are. And so, you know what we need to concern ourselves with are the things we can control. And the things we can control are positive attitude, work ethic, being in the zone, focusing on the positive, trusting our training plan and allowing that to take over in competitions. Unfortunately, we've been bit a little bit by the injury bug and a little bit by the illness bug. So we're clearly going into Georgia not at full strength. But I think that this is an incredible opportunity for other people on our team to really step up. And although they haven't had a whole season worth of experience, it's still a good opportunity. And our focus is really being at full strength more toward the end of the year and as we get closer to postseason.
Speaking of scores, there's been some issues this year as far as scores and rankings go. Talk a little bit about how that's kind of affecting you.
Well, it's really a software system and a software issue in regards to the online ranking system. So, that's really nothing we can control. I know that they're working out all those kinks and bugs, but obviously our rankings haven't always been reflective of what we've done in each meet.
Well, good luck this weekend, and thank you for tuning in to the DU Weekly Check-In.
Thank you.